Recently, Jamie Fenn posted a video where he made a diver fall into a static image of himself. A recent question on Facebook asked if we could do this with something that was in motion, so I thought I'd give it a try, and this is the result. Hi, so I've stuck together this little tutorial to show you what I did. So we've got our clip on the timeline. I'm going to move the playhead to the point where I want the two images to merge, roughly about the top of his jump. I'm now going to press Option or Alt, press and hold Option or Alt, and drag your clip up so you get a duplicate. You can now trim off everything beyond the playhead for this top clip because we don't need it. If we now move the playhead back to where we want the second image to start to appear, keep this fairly short because you're going to need to stretch it out. Again, trim off everything before this point because you don't need it. Move your playhead back to the join so that we know where it is. And then if you right click and select retime controls, put your mouse to the blue line, you can stretch this out. This effectively slows this clip down compared to the main clip. Reposition it at your playhead so there's the two peaks of the jump arrive at the same time for both clips. Fade in your top clip so that it doesn't suddenly pop into view. And you will also need to reduce the opacity of the top clip. So select it, and in the inspector, I think I dropped it down to about 60. But play around and get the best results. Once you've got that set up, you can see the effect starting to happen. This kind of works, but obviously you can see both clips that are running at different speeds, so you're getting a blurry and duplicated sort of image. So you can see on the path here, and with this pole thing, that you're getting a duplicated image. So to get rid of that, we're going to need to mask the biker. So select both clips, right click and select new fusion clip, and then go into fusion. So here we have all our nodes. This clip attached to the yellow pipe is your background, so your main footage, so we'll rename it main. You press F2 to rename a node. This attached to the green pipe is your foreground or your sort of slowed down footage, so name it appropriately. Just so you know, your head knows what it's doing, I've put them in the right order on the screen. It doesn't actually matter which order they're in, as long as the foreground is on the green pipe. So we're now going to look at the foreground in the viewer. We're going to find the very last frame. We're now going to add a mask to this. We'll use a polygon mask. So I'm just going to zoom in a bit so I can see what I'm doing. Select the polygon mask and pipe this into the blue triangle. The screen goes blank because everything's masked. So to work on it, we're going to invert the mask. So zoom in so you can see what you're doing. I'm going to very roughly mask this just so you get the idea. Obviously, if you're doing it for real, you take considerably more care. Masking off your figure. Click points and just work your way around the guy and his bike. Trying to keep as close to the outlines as you can. But as I say, for the sake of this demonstration, it's fairly rough and ready. So at the minute we're masking the biker out. When we come to the end, we will uncheck the invert button and we will mask out the background, which is what we want. What I'm also doing is just adding a little bit of softness to the mask to help it blend better better. So now we start animating, so using your arrow keys, come back 5 frames and then drag and select. This will highlight all your points and let you move the mask as a whole without having to move individual points. So you can move the mask and position it as close as you can. You may find at each keyframe you need to tweak your mask a little bit. I've sort of sped things up here just so you're not having to sit through 10 minutes of me fiddling with a mask. So as you can see, each time I'm going back 5 frames, adjusting the mask position and tweaking the edges just to make sure it's sort of staying with the bike, because obviously as he jumps the angles are going to change, etc. Once you've done that, we can bring the media out node into the viewer and have a look at what will be your final render. So if we play it through now, at the minute you can't see the second biker because it's the background that's masked. It's the biker that's masked, not the background. So what we're going to do is come over to the inspector and uncheck invert. Just double click anywhere in your node tree to get rid of the controls on the screen so you can see what's happening, and there's your biker joining himself. So I hope you found this useful. Any problems or questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Remember to subscribe and like and all that malarkey, whatever YouTubers do. Have a good day. Cheers.